recently had an opportunity to tour the Dartmouth Police Headquarters and speak to Dartmouth personnel about the current working conditions at their facility on Russell's Mills Road.
My name is Shannon Linays and I am the assistant to the Dartmouth Police Chief. In March, we were evacuated from our building and we were immediately transferred into trailers after Legionella was found in our hot water system. We have been working out of trailers for the past 6 months and are awaiting a new modular building to be assembled in our back lot. We have been told this will happen by Thanksgiving. I am standing in front of our current restroom facility. It is cleaned and emptied every 5 days by Mr. Cesspool. Unfortunately, the restrooms are not equipped with hot water, and we feel this is unsanitary as we currently have to use cold water and hand sanitizer to clean our hands. The steps to enter the restroom are really steep, and during rain or snow, which we have already experienced a few times in March, they become very slippery. We all know the winter months are fast approaching and are not looking forward to walking from trailer to trailer to access other departments or having to use a restroom facility which is located outside during inclement weather. With limited space in our trailers, we enter the building frequently to obtain supplies and files. Adequate space is definitely needed, and hopefully we will have more when the new modular is built and the building is no longer accessible during reconstruction. For the moment, we are all waiting for the next steps to be taken, whether it's remodeling our current building or finding a new one to house the Dartmouth Police Department.
This is what we refer to as the roll call room. It also doubles as a report writing area as well as a break room. As you can see, the accommodations are less than accommodating. It makes it tough for the guys to, not only come in here on a constant basis to finish the reports that they get, but it also, once again, doesn't facilitate for an area that you'd really want to put your lunch down on a table. As you can see, also inside the roll call area is where we have our evidence lockers for any type of evidence that the officers bring in from a particular case that they may be working on. So it causes concerns as far as being able to process the evidence. Also to the left is where we have the refrigerator for any type of biological evidence that we bring in. As you can see, once again, you have a roll call / break room with the possibility of exposing not only yourself but also any type of food you may bring into a biohazard, a needle box where officers bring in needles that they've either gotten off the road from a case they're on, or if somebody turns one in. On the north side of the roll call trailer, we're currently in the process of retrofitting the back room to facilitate a booking facility. As you can see, it's not exactly the easiest situation to bring a prisoner in. The metal stairs are rather steep. You're going to be dealing with icy conditions come winter time. Then obviously just the security aspects of a room this small, as far as being able to contain a prisoner and where you're going to be able to facilitate a bench for them. How good's that bench going to be? When you're talking about designing a police station, you always keep security in mind. And when you're talking about retrofitting a trailer, things are going to fall through the cracks. And that's one of the major concerns that everybody has here is, it's not a matter of if somebody's going to get hurt, it's a matter of when somebody's going to get hurt. One of the major hurdles that the patrol division is facing is how to book a prisoner. When you don't have a building to bring them to, they have to come up with a solution. The solution was to take them to the Massachusetts State Police Barracks located on Fons Connor Road. The state police were more than accommodating to us as far as letting us use their booking facilities. But when you're an agency that can have upwards of 600, 700 arrests, which we can, it poses an inconvenience and it poses a safety concern. You're going to a building that you're not familiar with, going into a situation that you're not familiar with, as far as where is what. The way that the booking is being conducted is remotely. We have a laptop, printer, camera there, which allows us to do the normal booking like we used to do at our station, except now you're doing it remotely and hoping that everything gets transferred back to the station, accordingly. So far, so good, knock on wood. There's been no hiccups as far as the booking is concerned. But again, you're taking somebody off the road, placing them in the Massachusetts State Police Barracks for God only knows how long to get the booking done. Then you're required to have a supervisor go down. You know, supervisor, you may have one supervisor on any given night, and now you're pulling them away from, you know, a potential, you know, a situation someplace else in town to go down to oversee that booking. Not that it's different than when we were inside the building, but it's just the added inconvenience of the travel for the most part now. You know, there's huge concerns as far as nights where you have minimum manning. You know, on any given night, you may only have 5 guys on the road, and some of these arrests may require 2 officers to go in with them. You know, whether it's a combative arrestee or, you know, some other special situation, where now you have 2 officers located on Fons Corner Road, and you have 3 officers covering the rest of this town, which we all know is fairly large land-wise. That's, you know, another consideration to take into fact as far as, you know, the location of everything right now. We're in what we're referring to as the Investigative Services Division. This is where we have 6 detectives, and we work out of, as you can see, it's another trailer. We've retrofitted it best that we can to facilitate our needs, which it's probably about maybe 1/3 of the size of the office that we used to work out of. Some of the difficulties that we're experiencing are having any type of meetings with any other detectives from the area as far as bringing them into here. There's not any place to sit. Security concerns, once again, is, you know, we're exposed to not only the elements outside these doors, but also anybody who may make their way into the parking lot. We've actually had people come back here and knock on our door, not knowing where to go. As you can see, room is an issue. We had, again, something that was 2/3 size bigger than this, where we could spread out our materials. A lot of times, some of the cases we work on are very involved, and it takes not only time but space, and we can't currently do that. We have a narcotics division that's part of their job is obviously maintaining, you know, their discreetness. Coming in and out of the trailer, it's not exactly the easiest part to do, because we may have somebody in here that we're talking to about a particular case. You know, this is generally the office in the back is where our narcotics guys will set up, but we also use it as a makeshift interview room. Our policy dictates that anytime we talk to somebody, it's going to be videotaped and audio taped. So in the old building, we had a room that was specifically designed for that, where you flipped a switch and you were able to do it. Now when we're talking to people, we have to use the Mass State Police Barracks, which isn't always conducive for what we have going on. So we may have to set up a camera and a recorder in this room, which once again, you'd like to secure it as far as maintaining the people's privacy. Can't do that when you can't shut a door. Also, you know, it's a sense of professionalism. When you bring somebody in to a police department, you're expecting to see a facility that's, you know, professional. This is a construction trailer which isn't made for long-term use. But once again, all the guys here show up for work on a daily basis, and definitely still maintain a positive attitude as far as getting the job done. It's just becoming more and more difficult as the days go on to be able to do that. Another concern that we've all discussed is just the air quality that's in these trailers. We found that it's either extremely hot or extremely cold, and when you have air that's constantly being recycled from the outside, I'm somebody that's never really been sick a day in my life, and within the last 6 months, I have allergies that I can't kick, and it's you know, in talking to a lot of people, not only officers that are here, but some of the records division people, some of the civilian workers, they're experiencing the same problems also. So I think long term, it's probably not going to be beneficial health-wise to have officers in these trailers for an extended period of time.
Hi, my name is Melissa Silver. I'm the Communications Supervisor for the Dartmouth Police Department. We're here in the Communications trailer, and we'd like to talk to you about some concerns we have being here in the trailer. Dispatchers no longer have the cameras to monitor what they would normally monitor, such as the officers coming and going throughout the building with subjects, which creates an officer safety issue. We once monitored the security of the building, all the doors and exits and entrances to the building. We no longer have that capability. So the acoustics of the communications trailer makes the radio transmission sound tinny. The previous communications division was soundproofed. Currently we can hear all the exterior sounds of the building, such as people talking outside the trailer, vehicles coming and going. It makes it difficult to hear the radio transmissions and 911 callers. Because the trailers are not insulated, it's difficult to keep the temperature at a comfortable climate control. The air conditioners are very loud. I anticipate the heating system is going to be very loud, which also makes it difficult to hear the officers' radio transmissions, and 911 calls extremely difficult. We also have some space confinement issues. The dispatchers' desks are right against each other. Makes it difficult for each other to hear the phones and radio transmissions. We're running out of desktop. Things are falling off the tops of the desks. We also don't have all the supplies that we once had when we were in a permanent comm center. The portable bathroom facilities are not located in the same trailer that the dispatchers are in, so the dispatchers have to actually leave the trailer to use the facilities. In inclement weather, it makes it difficult. They have to actually get a raincoat on, umbrella, etc., run across the parking lot to use the facilities. The communications division is facing a lot more complications while still trying to maintain the same level of service for the town.
We're inside the building now. Obviously, we can't bring you inside to the roll call room because there's a posting on it that says there's possible black mold inside there. You know, to what the extent of the black mold is inside there, I wouldn't be the one to actually speak of it. But obviously, if there's black mold there, there's black mold everywhere in this building. You know, the climate control in here, it's the only word I could use to describe it would be horrendous. And that's created a lot of problems throughout this building over the years, in my opinion. And as you can see, we're in the, I'll call it the dungeon of the police station. On this level, we have roll call on the other side of the building, as well as a report writing area and a dark room. You're on the south side of the building now, which from the street would be the street side of the building. You know, as you can see, the conditions down here are just absolutely horrendous. You know, you're talking about mold issues here, water issues. You know, right above you, when you look up at the pipes, you can see that some of the insulation's been chewed away by mice, to which has been a problem for years here. The you know, the rodent infestation. It creates again a health concern that we can't even begin to describe. We're in the booking area, cell block area. This has been something that we've brought up over the years. You know, as you can see on the ductwork above, there's a collection of different type of biological particulate that it's gathered there over the years that we've actually looked up at and go, are you kidding me? You know, this building being decades old, people look at it from the outside and say, geez, what a beautiful building it is, not realizing that this is an old building that was just wrapped with a new building. You know, it's the proverbial saying, putting lipstick on a pig is what they did, you know, years ago to this. So some issues that older buildings obviously deal with on a daily basis, we're dealing with that now. We're in the communication center right now, and as Ms. Silver had spoke about earlier, you can see that there's just a vast amount of space in here that they used to have access to, as opposed to now throwing paperwork on the floor just to make sure that it gets out of the way. Communication center, again, posed a lot of issues. I give the men and women credit who work in here on a daily basis, though you can't tell right now, it's like walking into the Arctic, and it's the climate control in here is miserable. There's times you can walk in the middle of August and they have jackets on, and there's times you can walk in the middle of winter, and if they could wear Bermuda shorts, they would. As you can see on the far side of the building, which would be the rear-facing side of the building or the north side of the building, you can see that the bulletproof glass that was installed is, you know, now cracked from top to bottom, and we had that problem throughout the building with the bulletproof glass from the building settling. You see the monitors on the wall. People may view those as TVs. They're monitors. They had, you know, dozens of cameras around this building, inside and out, that the dispatchers were able to monitor on a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week basis. So we can go back, we can revisit the security issues as far as the building is concerned. When you're dealing with, you know, just a couple of cameras that are, you know, for lack of a better term, just mounted flyby just to get by. compared to the dozens of cameras that we used to have before, where you can monitor both the inside and outside of the building. It poses huge security concerns. As you pan around and you look down at the floor, you can see one of the rodents that we discussed earlier. And again, this was an issue that's gone on for years. It's not something new that happened, after the building was essentially abandoned. I'm sure if you went back and you check the records, there's an exterminator that's probably come in here a few times when you have once again the rodent issues. We're in the detective division right now. As you can see, going back to our conversation we had in the detective's trailer, space is a huge issue for us, not only for some of the sensitive cases that we work on, but as far as also being able to facilitate a meeting with other detectives from the area or abroad. We definitely needed our space just to work, and that's all we're looking to do is work. Some of the issues that we had in here, though this room doesn't look half as bad as some of the other ones. About a year ago, the ceiling collapsed after the air handler that's above us for the air conditioner froze up. This happened to be my desk at the time, and I lost a lot of files. Thank God, the use of technology, I was able to recover the majority of them through a computer. But it created, to me, which is still a major concern, mold issues. I had water that was draining down here for numerous days. What's underneath that carpet, I don't know. It was last summer, another detective and myself, again, healthy guys, all of a sudden started coughing, and we couldn't stop coughing for 1 to 2 weeks until I finally went to the doctor and was put on an inhaler for the first time in my life. As soon as we moved out of this building, things seemed to clear up a little bit better. So, not only are you seeing what's on the surface, but my major concern is what lies beneath. And I think that's the major concern of everybody from the chief on down is, you're seeing just a speck of what this building probably holds. After we had the leak in the ceiling over my desk, it was probably a month or so later is when myself and another guy started to experience, that gagging cough, which again poses the question, what lies underneath this rug? I don't know. But we took the old corkboard down that used to be here and replaced it with this one, and we found black mold on the back side of the corkboard. So again, it's not always what's on the surface is what you're seeing. Sometimes you got to dig deep, and I think if you dig deep into this building, you're going to find a treasure trove of bacteria and other things that are harmful to everybody who comes in here. I mean, the thing to keep in mind too, when you're looking at the view that you are right now, we're on the very top floor of what we call the new side of the building. So if we're experiencing problems on the air quote new side of the building as far as bacteria and other biological particulate and matter, what's on the old side is the question that needs to be posed.